Yeah, so I was talking to Akveer. Akveer, like how much time you have before you have to take your TEF and this TCF examination?
Like I still have 1 year because I'm still waiting for my work permit.
Okay, great. 1 year is a good enough time for you to, reach the
Yes.
goal. However, 6 to 7 months is a bare minimum that you need to reach your goals. Okay, if somebody is saying we can get it done in 2 months, 3 months, then it's quite a utopian thing. It's not easily achievable, but yes, with hard work and a little bit of efforts, obviously you can do that. Okay. And like I was saying, there are two exams, that is TEF exam and the other is TCF exam. So nowadays people are able to clear the TCF exam more as compared to TEF examination. The pattern of TEF examination is a little on the, you can say, difficult side. Okay. So that is why you guys should go in for the TCF examination. The chances of clearing this examination are greater and easier as compared to the TEF examination. Okay. And my modules, all of my modules are exactly based on the, exam pattern. Just like we in IELTS, we have listening, reading, writing, and speaking, four modules. Likewise, here also we have these four modules, and we practice that on the daily basis so that you don't feel left out in the class that okay, we are not practicing XYZ. Everything goes parallel. Okay. And apart from it, how do I train? I will first walk you through as to how my modules are going to look like and stuff. And then we will start with the class. So what you can do is you can take down the notes right now. Consider it as your first French class. And you would see that in this class, we are not going to just do the basics of the language. Like some people start with ABC, one, two, three, and all of that. See, basics can be done from anywhere. We are going to do that in the class, but I have to get you to a level where you would be able to speak in class. Okay. So you would realize that within this first class, you would start speaking the language and understanding, comprehending as well. And we try to follow a certain pattern so that you don't feel overwhelmed also. Okay. So as if you go back to the roots and history of French people, there was 100 years war between France and England. So 90% of the literature, 90% of the text, everything you would see, they have a lot of similarity. English and French are very close languages. And once you learn French, learning Italian and Spanish also becomes very easy. So you would see that for yourself. Let's just try to do the screen share and we will start with the class, okay? So that you can have an understanding that on the daily basis, how am I going to train you, okay? Um, just a second. You can take down the notes and you can just to say. Okay. See, whenever we are learning any foreign language, we cannot learn a language as a solo entity. कि just हमने words पढ़ लिए उसके, we're just learning the vocabulary. This is not going to help you. What is going to help you is the cultural understanding and how these people behave. French people, because whenever you would be getting the listening, reading, writing, speaking, you need to actually understand the psychology of these people. अगर आपको इनकी psychology समझ आ गई इन लोगों की, तो आप उनके क्वेश्चन आंसर्स भी बहुत अच्छी तरह कर पाओगे. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हेन आई वाज इन फ्रांस, देयर वाज अ प्रोटेस्ट गोइंग ऑन. क्या प्रोटेस्ट था कि द रिटायरमेंट एज शुड नॉट बी 63 years ओल्ड. ठीक है, और उससे ज्यादा रिटायरमेंट एज को करना चाहिए. एंड दीज पीपल आर सो यूनाइटेड. इफ यू सी द न्यूज चैनल एक्सेट्रा, दे गेट डाउन टू द स्ट्रीट्स. इवन छोटा सा बच्चा भी स्ट्रीट पे आता है बिकॉज दे वांट इमीडिएट रिफॉर्म्स एंड दे आर वेरी ferocious by nature. So French people, if you see how French Revolution also happened, you would see that these people want change and they want it very fast. So the Britishers came to our country. They colonized us for approximately 200 n number of years, okay? And they gave us nothing but English language as a gift. I do consider it as a gift, but still it has broken our system, okay? Because nowadays nobody's giving value to our own regional languages, but English is taken as something that has more value, okay? But When French people went to different parts of the world, let's say they went to South Africa, they colonized South Africa, what they did is they were actually sorry for what they did, okay, the colonization and everything. And then they said, okay, you learn language till B2 level, you learn language till C1, C2 level. You come back to French speaking nations. Suppose, let's say, if you learn till B2 and you go back to France or also in Canada, they are giving you this chance of getting the PR of this nation, Canada, okay, as a gift. They think that this is something that we are also promoting our culture and we are sorry for what we did in the past. Okay. So this is how, but when you say for the Britishers have done nothing like that. They are not giving any rights. They are not, if you learn English, you don't get anything. Okay. So, but for French, you're getting the straight PR if you do it very seriously. Okay. So if you go to France, you would see there's a beautiful museum called as Louvre Museum. So this shows that these people are very artistic by nature. They like to preserve their paintings, the culture and heritage. Okay. So if you ever try to go to France or any European country, you would see the art and architecture is way different from what you see in Canada. Okay, in Canada we have modern buildings, but they try to take their old buildings and refurbish them. Refurbishing cost is much greater than actually building the modern buildings. Okay, and then you see, Quebec region in Montreal, you have this coffee culture, okay? They like to sit, have fun, have coffee. Also, they have this very nice wine culture, okay? So if you are someone who's interested in wine tasting, etc., this is the country for you. You must go. And these people are very relaxed by nature. For example, we Asians are almost Asians, Chinese people. We are very workaholic. We try to always see an objective before we do anything. These people are very relaxed by nature. They just shut down their laptops and everything by 5 in the evening and they don't work after it. And they probably take vacations 4 times in a year. Okay, 4 साल इनका vacation ही होता है and 90% of the time they are either protesting or there is some holiday in France. Okay, so this speaks about how kind of relaxed culture they have. They say we are just working to live. We are not living to work all the time. Okay, that is the philosophy, which I personally feel is very good. Okay, so again, I've talked about the culture of gastronomy. We also eat. The Indian food is the best in the world when it comes to spices and taste. But these people, they try to mix and match their food with one wine, one sort of wine. We have three types of wine: red wine, white wine, and blue wine. Okay. So when they try to mix it with wine, what happens is it's good for the gut, for your health. Okay. So that is why it is globally termed as a gastronomic culture. Gastronomic culture means if you have French food, then it's also healthy as well as tasty. Okay. Then this is also a good fact, a true fact that, for example, if you are a fashion model, you get a free Schengen visa of France. Why? The reason is you have good big brands like Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton, etc. in Paris. Okay, so they are actually in need of fashion models from all over the world who can come and do some freelancing projects at a lower cost. So that is why they're always welcomed. Okay, there. So they get a good chance to explore Europe and other nearby countries. And then, as I've talked about art, art is something that they take a lot of pride and interest in it. So we also have very beautiful art here back in India, but unfortunately, we're not able to preserve because of the heavy amount that is required to preserve our museums and things, and overcrowded population. But if you go there, you would see it's piece of heaven. Okay, every museum is a piece of heaven. Okay, you would find beautiful architecture and paintings like this. A proper French person never lives in a proper city like Paris. Reason being, there are immigrants. Okay, like here also in Canada, you must have seen that so many people are immigrating to rural areas to get their PR, or sometimes they also choose to be in a rural areas to be in a much peaceful state. Okay, so likewise, a proper French person, they always like to stay in the countryside because of the beauty. Okay, then Eiffel Tower, you already know, you must have seen in movies, or even if you have visited it, it's a piece of art which you should at least once in your life visit. Okay. Then what you're going to do is I'm going to start with the lesson. You are just going to consider it as if you are looking at English language. You're not looking at French language, okay? Because alphabets are just like that of English language. It's not like Chinese and Japanese. If you ever open Chinese and Japanese, the alphabets are just out of this world. Okay, so you won't find much difficulty when you are going to look at these alphabets. Just have a look at these alphabets and let's do an activity first. Okay, here you see there is a boy. He's going. Are you able to see the slide where a yellow slide? There's a boy. He's pointing finger towards himself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there's a boy. He's pointing finger towards himself, and he's saying "je." Okay, what is he saying? Je.
Je.
Yeah, you can also speak after me. Very good. Je. Then I'm so sorry. Think I have. Then the boy moves to another boy and he says tu. Okay, what does he say? Tu. You can repeat after me.
Tu.
Tu. Okay. Then finally, there is a boy who's pointing finger towards a boy and saying il. What is he saying? Il. You can
Il.
repeat.
Il.
Pointing finger towards a girl and saying elle. Elle. Okay.
Elle.
A group of men standing saying nous. Nous.
Nous.
Okay. A group of man and a woman standing saying vous. Vous. Okay.
Vous.
Then a group of two men standing saying il. Il. A group of two females standing saying elle. Now, from this little diagram, can you guess what could this mean?
Yeah,
Je,
this me.
tu. Yes. Yeah, please go ahead. Any guess?
I, you, he,
Exactly.
her,
Exactly.
we, you,
Yeah. Yeah.
they.
So you're able to guess it right. We are pointing fingers towards ourselves, himself, herself, itself. So this is les prénoms personnels en français. Personal pronouns in French. Okay. Je implies I, tu implies you, il means he, elle means she, nous means we, vous means you, il means they, elle means they. Do you want me to speak in some other language as well? I can get down to Hindi as well. अगर आपको हिंदी में if you want me to speak in Hindi, I can do that as well. ठीक है? So je का मतलब है I, tu का मतलब you, il का मतलब he, elle का मतलब she, nous का we, vous का you, il का they, elle का they. Let's try to do it with an translation now so that you have an idea. You can keep taking the screenshots of the same, okay? Je, that means I, tu, you, il, he, elle, she, nous is we, vous is you, il means they, and elle means they. Now there is a little catch. The catch is tu also means you, and vous also means you. But what is the difference? Tu we are going to use when we are talking to our friends. जब हम अपने friends से बात करते हैं हम हिंदी में भी बोलते हैं तू, ठीक है? But when we are talking formally to someone, we are going to use vous. Vous is like आप of Hindi language. आप क्या कर रहे हो? आप कहाँ जा रहे हो? We are giving respect to somebody. So then we are going to use vous. But when we are going to talk to our friends, we are going to use tu. Another catch is here we have il, that means he. Also, this is il. The pronunciation remains same, but mais quelle est la différence? What is the difference? The difference is this L we are going to use, il we are going to use for he, and this il with an S we are going to use for a they. Okay, a male dominant group is going to be il, a female dominant group is going to be L. Okay, so before I proceed, I would like you to take turns and speak this out. Yes, first one. Who would like to take charge and speak this out? Yeah, please go ahead.
Je. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle.
Okay, perfect. Yes, Avi, can you please try speaking?
Je, to, ill, al, knows, whose, ills, else.
Perfect. Okay. You can take the screenshot now. See, uh, there are different sources through which you can learn French language. Okay. Sometimes people also choose the self-learning method. But why self-learning method is not always successful? Reason being, French is a vast ocean. You can swim anywhere. But when you are serious about certain exam, you have to stay within the limits. Okay. And uh, teacher can always, guide you to stay within the limits when it comes to exam. Okay. For example, let's say there are 12,000 verbs in French language. आप उसको सेग्रीगेट कैसे करोगे? किस तरह से आप उसको मैनेज करोगे उन 12,000 वर्ब्स को? सारे 12,000 वर्ब्स तो we cannot learn, right? That is but obvious. We're going to manage it when we organize our stuff and when we are going to place it in some grammar rules. Okay. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you three boxes. Okay. What are those boxes? The boxes name are ER ending, IR ending, and RE ending. Okay, the box name is ER ending, IR ending, and RE ending. And we are going to place the verbs in these three boxes to manage it. Okay, let's see how we're going to do that. Okay, I will be reading out a couple of words. You are going to tell me what is the common factor that you see. ठीक है, इसके बीच में इन 6 वर्ड्स जो मैं बोल रही हूं इसमें कॉमन फैक्टर क्या है? ओके, द फर्स्ट वन इज पार्ले. नोटिस द प्रोनाउंसिएशन ऑल्सो. जो ईआर की प्रोनाउंसिएशन आती है वो ए जाती है. ओके, पार्ले, अडोरे, एमे, allume, apporte, appelle. Let me repeat it one more time for you, then you guys try speaking simultaneously, okay? After me. Parler, adorer, aimer, allumer, apporter, appeler. Yes. Can you please take turns and speak?
Parle, adore, aime, allume, apporte, appelle.
Okay, perfect. I see your pronunciation is also going in place. Good. Okay, Avni.
Parler, adorer, aimer, allumer, apporter, appeler.
Good, very good. So, what is the common factor that you see in these 6 words? The common factor is all of these 6 verbs are ending with ER. See, I've colored it differently. Okay? ER, ER, ER. We are going to place it under the category of ER ending verbs. This is the common thing that you see in these 6 verbs. Okay? Next. Now you see, there's this beautiful American singer. I hope you know who is she? Taylor Swift. What is the action that she is taking right now? क्या action ले रही है वो?
बोल रही है.
Exactly. She's speaking. So the action of speaking is called as parler en français. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Parler. Okay. Let's try to take this verb parler. Okay. It's ER ending. And we are going to use the prolog personal जो अभी हमने सीखे थे. And we are going to use it and we are going to create some sentences in present tense. So you would see in your very first class, you would learn how to create a sentence in present tense. Okay. So je का मतलब आए, je parle, tu parles, elle parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, elle parle. I repeat again. अब आपने pronunciation कैसे notice करनी है? Pronunciation L पे खत्म हो रही है. Okay, it's stopping at L. Je parle, tu parles, elle parle, nous parlons. With nous, it becomes on. With vous parlez, elle parle. Another thing that you have to notice is जब भी ER ending verb होगा, ending कैसे होगी? Je is going to end with E, tu is going to end with ES, il as E, nous as ONS, vous as EZ, and il as ENT. Can you guess what could this mean? Je parle, tu parles, il parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle. Hmm. क्या मतलब हो सकता है इसका? Je parle.
Speak. I speak, you speak, we speak.
Great. Je parle. Let's do a little recap and then you get back and both of you will be speaking it out, okay? Je parle. I speak. Tu parles. You speak. Il parle. He, she speak. Nous parlons. We speak. Vous parlez. You speak. Il parle. They speak. ठीक है? Can we try speaking this once? Yes, sir. You please go ahead and then Navni, you can speak.
Je parle, tu parles, il parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle.
Very good. Okay. Yes, Navni.
Je parle, tu parles, il parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle.
Il parle. Okay, perfect. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to create a sentence in French and we will try speaking it in French. देखो आप every language of the world, it's not just in French, any language you take of the world, they have gender except for Chinese language. Chinese language में I think gender का कोई problem नहीं आता Japanese में, but सारे European languages, including Hindi, we have gender for everything. For example, चाबी, चाबी रखी है. So चाबी का gender क्या है? Feminine. Okay. Likewise, all the objects in French language have a gender. या तो वो masculine होगा, या वो फेमिना होगा, या वो प्लूरल होगा, या वो वावल्स से जो भी वर्ड शुरू हो रहे हैं उसके आगे लगाने वाला कोई आर्टिकल होगा. So now here what you see is you're going to notice some articles. There are 4 articles in French. कौन से हैं मैं आपको बताती हूँ. I'm typing in the chat box. You have le, la, le, and l apostrophe. Now you must be wondering what is this lo, la, le, l apostrophe. All of these 4 things means only one thing. क्या मतलब है इसका? The of English language. ठीक है? इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में हम सिर्फ द यूज करते हैं, लेकिन फ्रेंच लैंग्वेज में हम 4 तरह के द यूज करते हैं. दैट इज ल, ला, ले एंड एल apostrophe. Mais encore quelle est la différence? What is the difference? Okay, the difference is le on utilise, le we are using pour masculin. Okay, we're going to use le for masculine. Okay, la we are going to use for féminin. Là, on utilise pour féminin les. Les, we are going to use for plural. Les, en utilisant pour pluriel. Okay? And L apostrophe. Where? Où on peut utiliser L apostrophe? Where can we use L apostrophe? We can use it before vowels. And how many vowels we have in French language? कितने vowels हैं? A, E, I, O, U, just like that of English language, but with an exception of Y. Y को हम क्या बोलते हैं French में? Y. And a silent H. ठीक है? Repeat again how many vowels we have in French language. A, E, I, O, U, Y and silent H. ठीक है? ये सारे vowels consider करते हैं हम French language में. Okay? So here I have given you a vocabulary kit. Le français. Le français का मतलब क्या है? French. French as a language, masculine language मानी जाती है. So that is why we are using le before it. Now, the other set of languages that I have given here is l'anglais, that is English, l'espagnol, that is Spanish, l'allemand, that is German, l'italien, that is Italian. Okay? L'anglais. So you see, anglais हो गई, Espanol होगी, allemand होगी, Italian. All of these languages are starting with vowels. क्योंकि ये vowel से शुरू हो रही है, इसके आगे हम L apostrophe लगाते हैं. ठीक है? That is the way. Let's try to make a complete sentence with it. Please rejoin after 6 minutes, ठीक है? Because the meeting is going to end. Je parle le français. I speak French. Tu parles le français. You speak French. Il, elle parle le français. He, she speak French. Nous parlons le français. We speak French. Vous parlez le français. You speak French. elle parle le français, they speak French. ठीक है? अभी, can you please try making a full sentence? Both of you? Please take charge and speak so that you feel a little confident that yes, you're speaking as well in the class. Yeah.
Je parle le français. Tu parles le français. Il parle le français. Nous parlons le français. Vous parlez le français. Il parle le français.
Yes. Please go ahead, Bachir. Avni, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. Avni,
Aiguille.
Ekwi. आप वो इधर बच्चे?
Je
Hello?
parle,
Yeah,
je
please go ahead.
parle le français. Tu
Mhm.
parles le français. Il parle le français. Nous parlons le français. Vous parlez le français. Ils parlent le français.
Okay, perfect. Let's move ahead. Now you would see we'll do another verb which has same kind of pattern. ठीक है? Je parle, I speak. Tu parles, you speak. Il, elle parle, he, she speak. Nous parlons, we speak. Vous parlez, you speak. Il, elle parle, they speak. Let's get on to another verb. Okay. Adore. So what do you understand from this? Heart. What could adore mean? Adore का मतलब क्या हो सकता है? Adoration, love. Okay. So anything that is related to heart could be love or adoration. Okay. So this is the clipping from it is one of my favorite movies, Cendrillon, that is Cinderella. And once you start learning French, then you can also watch Disney movies in French. But first you have to reach to that level. Okay. So you see the same verb we are using. J'adore, tu adores, il, elle adore, nous adorons, vous adorez, il, elle adore. Let me try giving you the translation. Okay, for the same. J'adore, I love. Tu adores, you love. Il, elle adore, he, she loves. Nous adorons, we love. Vous adorez, you love. Il, elle adore, they love. Please notice the pattern again. क्योंकि ये ER ending है तो ending कैसे हो रही है? E, ES, E, ONS, EZ and ENT. Yeah, can we try speaking this once, please? Both of you.
Je adore. Tu adores. Il adore. Nous adore. Vous adorez. Il adore.
Perfect. Okay. Yes. Please go ahead, Richard.
Je adore, tu adores, il adore, nous adore, vous adore, il adore.
Okay. J'adore. Now we are going to again frame a sentence because these guys are dancing. Let's make a sentence related to dancing. La danse. So dance is considered as a feminine trait in French. Okay. Generally, women are also very good at dancing. So we can create a kind of a fictional story like this to learn our articles, okay? Because there are so many articles in French language. I would be giving you a list of articles to simplify the things, but generally we create a fictional story like this so that we learn it in a fun way, okay? Uh, Comparing it between the feminine traits, masculine traits like this, okay? J'adore la danse. I love dancing. Tu adores la danse. You love dancing. Il, elle adore la danse. He, she love dancing. Nous adorons la danse. We love dancing. Vous adorez la danse. You love dancing. Il, elle adore la danse. They love dancing. Okay? Yes, this one. Can we try speaking, please? The full sentence.
J'adore dancing.
Mhm.
Like, sorry. Tu adore dancing.
La
Il,
danse.
la
Tu
danse,
adores
sorry.
la danse.
Tu adores la danse. Il adore la danse. Nous adorons la danse. Vous adorez la danse. Il adore la danse.
Okay, perfect. Yes, Richard, please go ahead.
Je adore la danse, tu adores la danse, il adore la danse, Nous adorons la danse. Vous adorez la danse. Ils adorent la danse.
Okay. Perfect. Now, let's move ahead. A little recap of what we have done so far. J'adore, I love. Tu adores, you love. Il, elle adore. Please rejoin the same link, okay? Given in the group. J'adore, I love. Tu adores, you love. Il, elle adore, he, she loves. Nous adorons, we love. Vous adorez, you love. Il, elle adore, they love. Okay? Yeah, this one. Let's move ahead. The next thing that we're going to do is allumer. You see? There's a beautiful light coming out. Allume means basically the action of to turn on the light. Okay. Light को on करना, that is called as allume, ER ending. Okay. Again, you would see ER ending का क्या pattern है? E, ES, E, ONS, EZ and ENT. J'allume. I turn on.